Since then, I stopped celebrating Halloween at home. My wife and I couldn't have children, so we had a soft spot for children. Samira bought lots of candy for Halloween. That night, we went shopping for groceries and sweets. On the way home, we saw cops at the neighbor's house. Curious, I stopped the car. Oh, something bad must have happened here. There are so many cops. Look, the paramedics are coming too. My wife showed the ambulance. I understood the seriousness. People were decorating, but they were all watching the scene. 2 cops came out. A woman's scream was heard. Oh my God, my son, my poor Liam. Oh my God, I want it. I want it, please. We saw our neighbor, Mr. Dempsey, trying to calm his anxious wife. Mrs. Dempsey was hysterical, screaming and crying. Rescue came in and pulled out a little boy wrapped in black plastic. The size of the body clearly indicated that it was a child. The police took the body away, and Mrs. Dempsey and I went to see the paramedics. My wife and I, perplexed, saw 2 men approaching. I asked one of them, "Sorry, what happened?" Don't ask. The poor Dempseys lost their child before Halloween. Why? What happened? Their 7-year-old son locked himself in an old closet in the basement. God and Mrs. Dempsey called him for dinner, but he didn't come. Worried, they went down to look for him. They searched the whole basement without finding him. It's horrible. How did they find him then? Well, Mrs. Dempsey saw a piece of blue fabric sticking out of the closet. She opened it and found the poor lifeless child inside. Samira had moved and I was upset too. For DMCs, nothing equals the pain of losing a child. We went home, and Samira didn't talk about it after 12 Hankook. She sat on the porch watching the neighbors dress up. At nightfall, the children came out in scary costumes. They went from door to door asking for candy. Despite our grief, we got up to distribute sweets to the children. You know, Jonah, I just realized something, Samira said as she closed the door after handing out the last of the sweets. It's good that we don't have children. At least I'm not afraid of losing them. I can't imagine Madame Dempsey's pain at this moment. Her eyes were teary. I hugged her and kissed her on the forehead. Go to bed. You need to sleep, poor kid. We went upstairs. I stared out the window for a moment. The neighborhood was quiet. All the kids were home. Every house was shining except the Dempseys. Their house was in total darkness, sighing with grief. I went to bed. I don't know when I fell asleep, but a noise woke me up. Rubbing my eyes, I heard another knock. I saw the time 02:30 in the morning. Tamira was sleeping soundly. I went down to open. Surprise, a kid was there in blue t-shirt and white shorts. He lowered his head. I did not see his face. Hey kid, why are you out so late? Your parents know you're here. No. The child's voice sounded strange to my ears. His casual look also surprised me a little. It was Halloween, but he wasn't dressed up. I asked again, all is well. When he raised his head, I almost had a heart attack. His face was white as snow, his eyes as black as the Bible. Wow, you look really creepy. This is a great Halloween costume. That said, I'm hungry. Can I have some candy? He held out his hand and said, well, you're a little late, but I'll see what I can do. Wait here, okay? The child bowed his head and stood frozen like a statue. I thought he played his scary role really well. I found a broken chocolate bar in the fridge. I took it, but when I came back, the child was gone. Thinking he was in, I turned around and said, And I have chocolate for you. Take it and go home. Your parents must be worried, but the child had disappeared. I was thinking when I heard laughter and footsteps in our basement. I opened the door and yelled, "Get out of there, little one. It's too late to play here. Come on, I'm taking you home. I can't see anything. It's dark like last time." I pressed, but the light didn't come on. She was walking well after 12 o'clock. Fearing that he would be afraid, I took a lamp and went downstairs. Two white sheets hung in the bottom of the basement. Between the sheets, I saw the child staring at me with a frightening smile. Well, it's time to go home now. As I said that, I walked over to the sheets and moved them to grab the child. The hairs on the back of my neck stood up. I found myself alone in the basement. It was as if the boy had vanished into thin air. There was no one, I repeat no one, behind his sheets. A cold wind had cooled the atmosphere around me. That's when I heard the laughter again. Turning around, I saw the kid right behind me. Blue veins marked his pale face and thick black liquid flowed from his eyes. He snatched the chocolate bar from my hands, and I felt his touch. His hands were colder than ice. "What? Who are you?" "I'm Liam Dempsey. Can you take me home? I'm lost. Can you help me?" "Oh my God, that's all." I don't remember anything after that. I fainted, and Samira found me in the basement where she looked for me in the morning. Surprised, she kept asking me why I had slept on the basement floor all night, but I couldn't tell her what I had seen. I had often heard of her black-eyed children, but this was my first real encounter. I don't know why Liam became a black-eyed child, but I think his death in the dark turned him that way. What do you think? I'm Alan, father of 2 girls, husband, and an ordinary man with a dull job. What I'm about to share is extraordinary. Please listen with an open mind. If you haven't lived it, doubting is understandable. I'd feel the same. It all started when we moved in with my parents. My mother had died and the house was empty. We wanted to live there, create memories with our little girls. What we didn't know was that we wouldn't be alone at first, just weird noises in the house. The children saw people at night. The doorbell moved on their own. I can't deny the noises, but the kids had never lived in a big house, so the rest was surely their imagination. After a while, even I could no longer deny what was happening. The doors opened and closed on their own, without the slightest draft in the house. The open faucets in some rooms froze in the middle of summer. All this would have made me leave. Except for one detail, I was sure that the presence in the house was my mother. At first I was scared, but eventually I heard someone humming a familiar song. It was the song my mother used to sing to me when I was little. My family was not convinced, but I showed them that these phenomena never hurt us. Everything was fine. For a while we tried to get used to the situation, but things started to get worse. Some dishes started flying dangerously towards us. The children felt spied on, and even I had a strange feeling that something was going to happen. Was my mother angry, or was there something else in the house? There was only one way to ask him. We chose Halloween, the night when spirits are most active and paranormal activity intensifies. My wife and I bought a Ouija board without attracting attention. Apparently, everyone was buying them for this date. In the evening, the girls went to a friend's house, leaving the house to me, my wife, and my brother. Playing Ouija board on Halloween is appropriate, right? One more joke and I'm off on the candy tour with the girls. Mothers-in-law are really freaking out, aren't they? Without further delay, we started playing, asking her simple questions as if there was someone on the other side or if she lived with us. When asked if it was my mother, the board denied it and the atmosphere shifted. Alan suddenly said, "No, my mother is with you. We can talk, Alan, but I don't feel right about this. Let's leave now. What do you want from us, Alan?" Before I could react, the board shook violently and suddenly threw itself at me. To hell with goodbye, we're leaving. My brother screamed in terror when we started running. The house shook and all the paintings fell. We reached the exit. Everyone ran to the car, but I stopped behind me. I could hear my mother humming the lullaby. Alan, what the fuck? Shall we? No. I have to check if I see my mother. Wait for me. I promise to come back quickly. Forget it. It's not Mom without hearing them screaming at me to come back. I went back into the house. It may seem crazy. It was crazy, but I wanted to keep the hope of seeing her one last time. I walked into the Ouija room and the kitchen light started flashing standing in the dining room. I told you, she was there. My mother, seeing me, stopped humming. I was going to hug him, but something strange stopped me. At the same time, I was paralyzed, unable to move, just looking at her. There, she never had been. Just one thing that had been playing with me from the beginning. In tears in the car, Cheryl scolding me, I saw my mother at the window, all smiles. His eyes and mouth looked burned. As she greeted me, her face trembled like the monster seen in the kitchen. Several months have passed since these events. My brother took us in, and then we were able to move out on our own. No more paranormal phenomena, and we didn't resell the house. I don't wish this nightmare on anyone else. From now on, no more ghosts. I'll just live with my wife and daughters. That's what my mother would have wanted. This incident happened on Halloween night. The Halloween night bell rang loudly at 2:47 a.m. I know this because I checked my phone thinking about prankster drunks. I was going to report them, but looking through the peephole, my heart stopped. There he was, on the porch with that warm smile that hadn't been there for a month. I opened it abruptly and hugged him. "Dad, what are you doing here? Why didn't you call? I missed my little girl," he said, hugging me, but his skin was cold and he looked very pale. It was almost gray. "You feel good? You look okay, my darling. Just tired from the ride. How about we make that mac and cheese you loved?" We spent the next hour laughing and talking in the kitchen. Dad told me about Mom's garden investment and criticized my ex. Despite being normal, I felt something in the air. Something was wrong with his house. Dad staring out the windows, tensing at every passing car. Dad, seriously, what's wrong? You're acting weird. Everything's fine, my princess. Suddenly, the bell rang. Dad went pale as if all his blood had drained out. "Don't open it," he says, before I get off the stool. "What? Why not? It's probably someone who wants to hurt you. Don't approach the door, Camila." The bell rang again without stopping, this time banging it, shaking as if to tear the door open. They were desperate to get in. It was clear. "Dad, hide. I'm calling the police. They won't arrive in time. Go to the basement." "Now what? I won't leave you alone before I finish." The window of the living room exploded, shards of glass flying everywhere that this guy wishes to tear and attempt. Over the crowbar shining like a blade. His crazy eyes crossed the room like a hunted animal. "Nobody move," he shouts it, brandishing his gun. "I just need to hide." Before I could react, Dad grabbed me and pushed me into the cellar. His grip was incredibly strong, stronger than I remembered. "Go hide." He pushed me so hard I tripped down the stairs. The basement door slammed behind me with a loud click. "Dad, Dad." I knocked on the door, but it stayed blocked. The next 20 minutes were the worst of my life. I slumped against the door, listening to hell rage overhead, furniture crashing against walls, glass shattering. I heard Dad scream, then the intruder answer him. My whole body was shaking. All I thought about was the guy's crow feet and my dad up there alone. Dad was 52 years old. His back hurt from the building, and this lunatic looked young and desperate. What if he killed him? What if I heard my father die without being able to help him? "Please God, don't let this guy hurt Daddy," I whispered through tears. The sounds were getting worse and worse, like a body hitting a wall. I covered my ears, but I could hear everything anyway. Then that piercing scream that chilled my blood. It wasn't human. More animalistic, like something barbaric and torn apart. Finally, silence enveloped the house. Long minutes stretched before sirens pierced through. Officers broke open the basement door, guiding me out. "Are you hurt?" one asked. The living room was wrecked, stained with blood and shards everywhere. Blood stained the walls, and broken glass glittered amidst overturned furniture. "The intruder fled here after robbing a gas station," explained an officer. "Hiding in the basement saved your life." "Where's my dad?" My voice wavered as panic grew. The officers exchanged worried glances. A policeman spoke softly. "Your father isn't here, ma'am. There's nobody but you." Confused, I murmured about Dad being in the kitchen or the chaos. "We've searched everywhere." My phone buzzed. It was Mama. "Your father suffered a heart attack at work. He passed away early this morning," she said. "He died at 01:00. The phone slipped out of my hands. 1:30 a.m. 1:17 a.m. Before it arrived at my house, the policemen were staring at me. Thinking I was in shock, one of them picked up my phone and handed it back to me. "Your mother wants to talk to you," he said softly. I looked at the devastated living room, blood on the walls. The intruder muttered that he had seen a dead man. He came to protect me. I swallowed. Even in death, Dad kept his promise to be there when I needed him. The intruder was raving about the ghost as the old man appeared from nowhere with a piercing look. The cops thought he was having a psychotic break, but I knew the truth. Dad came back one last time to save me. Fathers do everything for their children, and even God can't do anything about it.